billion pumps. Alien.
Sorry, I
It's
I
okay.
overbooked myself today, and David also has D&D starting at this exact same time.
Dude,
So,
that's okay. Actually, I think this is a great segue because we were just talking about like skincare stuff. And you know who
yeah.
else has to always think about skincare stuff? The girl in Hill House who has to do the skin of the dead.
Ooh, that is
Yeah,
a
how
good
about that?
that is a good one. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, we were just talking about skin primer because you should always prime your skin before doing makeup. And I'm
Should.
trying the brand new Milani made in Korea primer that just came out. Jeffree Star gave it a rave review, and as problematic as he is,
Yeah.
the bitch knows his makeup.
My
So
whole entire childhood, I feel like 8th to 10th grade was like Jeffree Star.
I know. I was having a conversation with David about Jeffree Star the other day
Oh.
because he's back on TikTok after the whole Dramageddon of 2016. And David was like, why are people listening to Jeffree Star again? Isn't he like a horrible person? And the answer is yes, but we go through cycles on the internet where we love
Yeah.
Jeffree Star. He does something awful. We hate Jeffree Star. He goes away for a few months. He comes back and we're like, oh my God, thank God Jeffree Star is back. Finally, some honest makeup reviews. And then he does something problematic again.
Ah, I see what you mean though. Yeah, so it's like it's like you're walking on the razor's edge with him,
Hmm.
you know? Like one side is excellent because you want honesty, but the other side is like, fuck, what's he gonna do next?
Yeah. Like I've never owned his makeup,
Yeah, me
but
neither. Yeah.
I used to listen to his MySpace music.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, same, right? Yeah, like I didn't like listen to it personally, but all my friends
Hmm.
did.
Yeah, no, he was a Warped Tour sweetheart.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so this week we are talking about probably the fan favorite, everybody's favorite episode of Haunting of Hill House, which is episode 6, which I didn't
Yeah,
rewatch. I'm just going off of memory because I started episode 7 the other week by accident, so I know which episode it is. This episode is shot beautifully. It is all one, I mean, it's not all literally one continuous shot, but it's filmed
yeah,
to look like one continuous shot, and it is
yeah.
just so visually stunning.
Yes, that's the special thing about this. And I was trying to really, once I saw it happening and I didn't see any like breaks where I was like, oh shit, I got to pay attention to see like where I do see
Yeah.
a break happening. And I literally think there's only two cut, like cut
Yeah.
scenes, very brief.
Like
But yeah,
the
dude.
like
Yeah.
it's very complicated to shoot like this
Yeah.
because there are cuts, but you're trying to minimize the amount of cuts you're doing or do them cleverly so the audience doesn't see it happening unless like you are looking
Unless,
for it.
yeah, you're looking for it exactly.
Um yeah, but
Hell yeah.
this episode is mostly the dad's experience in the house or
Mhm. Pew.
not necessarily in the past. In the past, they're dealing with this horrific thunderstorm that's destroying the house, and Nell goes missing. But in the present, we see how the trauma of the house has affected the father, because up until this point, he's been a tertiary character in the present,
Yeah.
and the trauma of the house, he's never remarried because he's haunted by the ghost of his wife.
Yeah. Yeah. I almost forgot about that detail until he was like
Hmm.
talking to himself. I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit, that's her.
Yeah. Not, I don't think it's her literal ghost. I think it's just his memory of her because her literal ghost is at the Hill
Is
House.
at the Hill House. Absolutely right. Yeah.
And that ghost isn't even really her. It's what the house warped her into becoming.
Yeah.
So
It's such a good show.
it's so good. And he's trying his best to be a father, even though he's been a fairly absent father since everything happened in the house. The kids were raised by their mother's sister,
Yeah.
and we see that big, huge rift in the family, like at all family funerals. No one, no
Hmm.
one can just be fucking chill at a funeral. It has to. It's never about the dead person. It's about what you did to me 15 years ago, you bitch. Uh,
Exactly. Yes. It's about taking that fucking money still. It's been
yeah,
20 years. God
yeah.
damn it.
And Theo is really going through it after
Mhm.
she touched her sister's corpse to see what she was going through.
Yeah.
She's been drinking, she's been doing all of the things, but we don't know yet just
Yeah.
why she's being like this.
Right. Yeah, we don't know what she saw.
Yeah, we that's not revealed until the next episode, I do
Oh,
believe.
okay.
But in the past, during the parents tell the kids to stay in a group and don't get lost because again, this thunderstorm is fucking insane and it's blowing out windows and they're in the
Yeah,
center of the
Jesus
house.
Christ. It's really crazy. I was like,
Really, they should be
whoa.
in the basement if it's that bad.
For
But
damn sure, but the basement's fucking terrifying.
yeah. So they try to stay together, but then somehow Nell gets lost
Yeah,
and
what the fuck?
they spend the rest of the episode looking for Nell. Meanwhile, the dad and the mom, well, the mom and the dad are the ones looking for Nell. I think the kids stay where they're
They stay like,
supposed to,
yeah, downstairs. Yeah.
despite all the ghosts hovering around.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but upstairs, the mom starts acting really weird, and this is the real first time we've seen the possession, the actual possession
Yes.
of her,
Hmm.
and how ghostly she is. And the husband's realizing something is wrong, but he doesn't get a chance to really like confront her because all the windows blow out and the
Right.
entire upper floor of the house is destroyed. And finally, they go downstairs and finally find Nell. And she was like, I was here the whole time. I was yelling for you.
I
Couldn't you
was
hear me?
cry at this point. That
Couldn't you
was so
hear me?
sad.
And that was at the end of the episode. And we also go back to the
Yeah.
present, and there's the ghost Nell watching her
Yeah.
family walk away because they can't see her anymore.
Right. Yeah. And like all this time, like we have that visual of like her in her casket, but then the casket like falls down when they're
Yeah.
fighting. And it's just a very emotional thing when she's saying, like, I was here the whole time and nobody could hear me or see me. And I'm like, ah, shit.
Yeah.
And it goes to show about how like they kind of ignored her like mental illness and stuff when she was at her worst. Not ignored, but like, you know, whenever she called everybody that night before she
Hmm.
killed herself or like died, they all like kind of couldn't get back to her the way she needed. And then the whole, yeah,
Yeah.
like the whole her whole life, they always kind of like joked like, oh, crazy Nelly, you know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
um, so that was kind of sad to
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It
no,
was,
excellent
yeah, this is
episode.
definitely one of the best episodes of like horror television, in my opinion.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
I love when horror is sad.
I know, yeah, it's really sad. And then also like that was scary. Like we do see like some of the ghosts. Like I think in this episode we do see the mother or no, was it the mother or father open the door and like the kid in the wheelchair wheels
Hmm.
out?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
that was like I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But he's like not bad, like not a bad guy.
Yeah. I don't think really
Yeah.
any of the ghosts in the house are bad.
Yeah.
Maybe one or two, but it's
Yeah.
really just one or two that
Right. Yeah.
make it worse for everybody.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, but very, very cool way of shooting. The whole thing is like, yeah, like Sam said, basically one shot. And it's cool because like it looks like the set is like half present time in like the
Hmm.
funeral home. And then whenever you walk down a hallway, you go into the Hill House. So it's like kind of split set, but it's seamless. So that was really, really a cool detail. Um,
Yeah.
Past and present. Yeah, I thought it was excellent. Looking at pictures of like the funeral home right now, it's so actually eerie looking because everything is like a pale mint green.
Hmm.
And like I kind of like don't like how it looks.
Oh yeah, it's very nauseating.
Yeah, do you feel that way too? I'm like, oh, it's
Yeah.
kind of it's terrible. So,
Yeah.
very
Quite
yeah.
quite
Yeah.
gross.
Yeah, it is gross and it's very like it's like not inviting.
Hmm.
It's not at all cozy. It looks like a hospital, like straight up. Um, and yeah, any other any other big points to make out of all that?
I don't think so. This episode really speaks for itself
Yeah,
in
there was that moment though, whenever like Theo and like
Oh shit,
Shirley's
yeah.
husband was in like
Oh yeah,
the
shit. Yeah, that's a very important point of this episode.
yeah. If I
when
remember correctly, like it's not even a big deal, I feel like. Or
no,
is it? Yeah,
it
because
wasn't a
she's
big deal to her. She we don't I don't want to spoil the next episode, but
no, of course not. No, no, no. Yeah.
because she's a lesbian, he was
Yeah, I'm
just
like, she's
there.
gay. It's like actually not a huge deal. And she's like fucking hammered.
Yeah.
But we do find out like a big secret that like we know that Theo took the money from the book deal from Stephen
Hmm.
to get her PhD, and then Shirley like resents people for doing that because she says it's blood money, but then she finds out that her husband actually took the money in secret to support their business
Hmm.
because Shirley's been cutting corners and there was like a secret checkbook that she found and she didn't know what account it was for, but that was and it must be like a shit ton of money too, like more money than I thought.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and she finds that out and she's like fucking pissed at everybody after that. And then also Nell's dead. So it's like this whole thing.
Yeah.
So
This
that
family is just a
yeah.
mess.
It's really a mess. And like there's a different like drama, I feel like, or issue in every episode, but that is the issue that kind of carries this episode that and because Luke is there, but he's not like high or anything like that. He's clean now, and everyone's like irritated with him anyway because of his like existence. So like,
Luke is going
um,
through it because that's his twin
yeah,
sister. That's his
that is
person.
yes, that's his person, and she is killed. So, um, yeah, and but nobody, but it's very interesting in this episode because everyone's in such shock that like nobody like really is crying.
Hmm.
Like they go and look at her and they're just like, oh yeah, that's her, and they like act weird. So it's just, but that's very like realistic too. Um, after like the first time like seeing someone, I feel like you could just like be in shock and then cry later. And so it's interesting how each one reacts very differently from the other,
Hmm.
all of them. So that was really well done. But yeah, that's literally all I have to say about that. I thought about all that,
Hmm.
and that's that. So
Yeah.
what else we got?
We got to pick our next movie review.
Ooh, okay. What are you think? What
I
did we talk about something? What are we thinking about?
I was thinking of doing In a Violent Nature.
Oh shit, that's right. We have been talking about that.
Yeah.
Hang
And it
on.
is a Shudder original, so it is currently on Shudder.
Wonderful.
Speaking of
Wonderful.
Shudder, when we finish this Mike Flanagan watch through,
Yeah.
the Creep Tapes is officially out.
Oh yeah, I'm down for that.
We
I
should
really
absolutely watch the Creep Tapes.
love that guy.
Oh,
Huge
I
fan of
love
those
Creep so
movies.
much.
Me too. Those movies are fucking insane. Like I and like I I really like think that dude's like super attractive too for some
He
reason.
is, and he's so good at what he
Right?
does.
Like why?
He's
He
so
is
charming
good.
in such a creepy way.
What a wonderful like this guy what like I know that like American Psycho is a great example of like a sociopathic like killer, but like Creep, I wish it was more pushed to the forefront and more people kind of like
Hmm.
realize that this is just as good.
Hmm.
Because he's so wild. Okay, so that is excellent. So that's called the Creep tapes. Yeah, I've been seeing a couple things about that
Yeah.
on Instagram. So yeah, what is
Um,
this guy's name?
I'm not sure.
Mark Duplass. Yeah, that's it. Or wait, no, Mike Luciano. No, Mark Duplass. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's do it. Okay,
Yeah.
so
And then
next week, yeah, good.
next week we are going to review In a Violent Nature, which I did already watch, but I wouldn't mind watching it again. It's very chill.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, yeah, you did see
I mean,
it just to make sure. Yeah.
make sure it wasn't going to be nausea-inducing gore, which it was fine. It was like 80s
Dude,
80s level gore.
yeah, I feel like people really need to like calm down a little bit with getting so having such a big outburst over like some gore
Hmm.
because now we're starting to now I feel like it's almost like it's almost like fear mongering. It's like chill. It's actually
I
not too bad.
I agree.
Right.
The director describes In a Violent Nature as ambient horror, and I would agree.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah,
And
eerie
I'm
underscore
there,
reunite.
I have some critiques of it, but I can't wait to fully discuss this movie with you next week.
Yes. Okay, I look forward to it too. Yeah, so I will be watching freaking welding mask guy for the week, and then we'll talk about it next time. So yeah, in Violent
Yeah,
Nature, if you have Shudder, go for it. Because me and Sam have a share a Shudder subscriptions. That's
we
excellent.
do.
Heck yeah, you and your friends should do it too.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's all I have for today. And so, and Violent Nature's next, and then next episode of Hill House right after.
Yeah.
Cool. And then gobble gobble.
Gobble gobble.
Gobble gobble, you
Oh
guys.
yeah, shit. Next week is
Wait, we should,
Thanksgiving.
yeah, we should talk about
Recording
that.
next.
Yeah, let me see. So we usually record Wednesday, right?
Tuesdays
Yeah,
or Wednesdays
Tuesdays
usually.
and Wednesdays.
We are leaving at 4 o'clock for Nova on Wednesday, so that won't work for me.
Okay, gotcha. And on Tuesday, you know what, maybe we should push a week because yeah,
That's fine. It's a holiday.
yeah. Let's regroup either December 3rd or December 4th. They both are good for me.
Yeah, let's aim for December 3rd.
December 3rd. Yeah. Okay, cool. Sounds good.
All
Yes.
right.
Gobble gobble, everybody.
Gobble gobble.
Bye.
Bye.
And there's a creepy dog that always follows